Imagine being promised the future, only to have it yanked away like a cruel prank. That's the harsh reality facing the electric vehicle industry as a bombshell report exposes the dark underbelly of this once hyped market. For years, the electric vehicle (EV) market has been touted as the future of transportation, a shining beacon of innovation and sustainability. Automakers worldwide have poured billions into developing cutting-edge EVs, while governments offered lucrative incentives to spur adoption. Consumers, enamored by the promise of zero emissions and cutting-edge technology, jumped on the bandwagon, fueling a meteoric rise in EV sales. But all of a sudden, it seems an end has come to the EV market. Established automakers like Tesla are leaking billions, their stocks in freefall, as consumers wake up to the harsh truths about EVs. This report lays bare 3 critical flaws that have sent shockwaves through the industry, shattering the illusion of a green, sustainable tomorrow. But the story gets even more twisted. Whispers of a grand deception are spreading like wildfire. Were political leaders complicit in this charade, turning a blind eye to the inherent flaws? And what of the safety concerns raised by reputable sources like Consumer Reports? Tales of traumatic EV ownership experiences are surfacing, casting doubt on the very foundation of this supposed revolution. As the EV bubble bursts, economists are sounding the alarm, warning of an impending market flop. Despite the hype and the allure of government tax credits, consumers are seeing through the facade, rejecting the electric dream in droves. The stage is set for a clash of titans, pitting the grand promises of a sustainable future against the harsh realities of an industry teetering on the brink of collapse. Buckle up, because this expose is about to shatter everything you thought you knew about the EV market. Let's start with Tesla, the pioneer that kickstarted the EV craze. Despite its innovative spirit and cult-like following, the company has been gushing losses, with a staggering $2.3 billion evaporating from its coffers in just the past year. But Tesla is far from alone in the crisis. Traditional automotive giants like Ford and General Motors have poured billions into their EV divisions, only to see those investments draining away without a corresponding return. Ford's electric endeavors have cost the company a whopping $3 billion in operating losses, while GM's electric dreams have resulted in a $1 billion cash burn. At the heart of this financial hemorrhaging lies a perfect storm of challenges, chief among them being the skyrocketing cost of critical raw materials. The lithium, cobalt, and nickel required for EV batteries have seen their prices soar, with lithium alone experiencing a mind-boggling 700% surge in just 2 years. This raw material crunch has a cascading effect on production costs, forcing automakers to either absorb the increased expenses or pass them on to consumers in the form of higher sticker prices. Neither option is particularly appealing, as inflated costs risk pricing EVs out of the market, while slimmer profit margins make the entire endeavor less financially viable. Aside from the cost, there have been sustained and growing concerns over the supply of raw materials for the manufacture of both EV batteries and the EVs themselves. Lithium is a very scarce element. The industry has benefited from a few rich sources of lithium, but they will eventually dwindle. Even copper, so crucial for the electric wiring, is a concern. It takes 1 or 2 geopolitical agreements to grab those resource rights, and everyone else is out of luck. Also, the electric vehicle industry's dependence on governments controlling key raw materials for battery production is a significant disadvantage and a major source of vulnerability. This over-reliance on foreign supply chains and geopolitical factors has exposed a critical weakness in the EV revolution. At the heart of this issue lies the fact that many of the critical minerals required for EV batteries, such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel, are concentrated in a handful of nations. For instance, over 60% of the world's cobalt supply comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country plagued by political instability and ethical concerns over its mining practices. Similarly, Chile, Australia, and China control a significant portion of the global lithium supply, giving these nations immense leverage over the EV industry. A disruption in any of these regions, whether due to trade disputes, political upheavals, or environmental regulations, could send shockwaves through the entire EV supply chain. This dependence on foreign sources has already proven to be a double-edged sword for EV companies. In 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, the resulting sanctions on Russian nickel exports caused prices to skyrocket, with nickel trading at a staggering $100,000 per ton at one point. This price shock rippled through the industry, forcing automakers to either absorb the cost or pass them on to consumers, eroding profit margins and dampening demand. Moreover, the concentration of key raw materials in a few countries has led to concerns over potential supply manipulation and trade wars. China, for instance, has been accused of leveraging its dominance in rare earth minerals as a bargaining chip in geopolitical disputes, raising fears that similar tactics could be employed with lithium or other critical EV materials. With all these disturbing factors around the major raw materials, a single EV battery pack can cost upwards of $15,000 to produce, a significant chunk of the vehicle's overall cost. And with demand for these critical minerals outpacing supply, prices show no signs of abating anytime soon, essentially capping the industry's growth potential. The most annoying, or let's say terrifying, is that if the battery in your EV is damaged, the only option you have is to replace it with a new one at retail cost. This can cost upwards of $15,000 to $20,000. This is too much of a risk for the average car buyer to handle. Anyways, the raw material and battery woes are just the tip of the iceberg, and there is more. Supply chain disruptions, caused by everything from semiconductor shortages to geopolitical tensions, have further exacerbated the production challenges. Automakers have found themselves unable to meet demand, leading to frustrating wait lists and lost sales opportunities. Sales data has also been less than impressive. According to data compiled by Argonne National Laboratory, plug-in electric vehicle sales dropped by over 12,000 units month over month in the US to 91,537 in October. This was the lowest level of sales since March 2023. Falling sales for a single month should be taken with a grain of salt, but this is with the backdrop of falling demand for vehicles overall, EV capacity increasing, and price cuts across the EV industry. It looks like supply is going to be higher than demand for the foreseeable future, which will put a lot of pressure on companies' balance sheets. There seems to be a sluggish sales in the EV market. GM, for example, will end production of Chevy Bolt EV, and the EV cars still remain expensive and accessible to those with deep pockets. While EV technology is cool, in the end, if people cannot afford it, and if car manufacturers can't make profit from it, the market will drop. The EV market has a poor product market fit. This is something the companies failed to put into consideration before promising us a sustainable future. Sure, people might want to buy an EV. No one really needs an EV. Ask people on the street. They're happy with the car they have now. It runs well. It's paid for. You can fill it anywhere. And gas prices, while high, have stabilized. Not many are ready for a change. Also, most cannot afford an EV, let alone keeping their current car maintained. EVs carry a kind of socio-economic privilege to it. Saving the planet from climate change is difficult during hard economic times, at least for the average person. Also, the current energy grid does not have enough electricity to support vehicle electrification, and this will require long-term investments for upgrades and expansion. Once again, where will the money come from? The EV market failed to also identify that there is a lack of residential infrastructure. One needs a 60 to 70 amp outlet to charge their vehicle at home in a reasonable amount of time. That's a dryer or oven type outlet. Home garages aren't equipped with that. Charging on a regular 15 amp outlet takes too long. If the one lives in an apartment, there won't be available charging stations for everyone. All these predicaments has led some industry analysts to question the long-term sustainability of the EV revolution, at least in its current form. Unless alternatives are developed or new sources of these materials are secured with a system to reduce the cost of production so the vehicle can be available and at the same time every individual can still afford to lay hold on it. Let's be real here, folks. The troubles plaguing the electric vehicle industry are piling up faster than a multi-car pileup on the freeway. With each passing day, their lofty goal of bringing sustainable transportation to the masses seems to drift further and further away into the distance. I mean, think about it. How can you claim to be revolutionizing the automobile world when only 1 out of every 100 people can actually afford your products? It's like offering a lavish banquet to the hungry masses, but only letting in the wealthiest 1% to feast. So, let's spark a lively discussion here. Should we just cut our losses and wave goodbye to the EV dream? Could solutions be just around the corner? And also, are these automakers truly in it for the greater good of humanity and our planet? Or are they just chasing the almighty dollar, using sustainability as a convenient marketing ploy? These are the tough questions we need to confront head on, my friends. And I want to hear your unfiltered opinions in the comments section below. Don't hold back. But before you unleash your thoughts, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Our next video is about a unique brand that's making waves with groundbreaking discoveries. Trust me, You won't want to miss it.